Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're taking a focused look at Intuitive Machines, ticker LUNR. They're an aerospace company, really, making some significant moves in lunar exploration and, well, beyond.
And the information we've got, it paints a picture of a company that really has some considerable forward momentum right now. We're looking at several analyses, different reports, all dated around May 13th, 2025. They cover the basics, recent performance, financial health, where they stand competitively, and their future path.
Right. So our goal today is to really unpack these sources, pull out the key insights, help you understand what's actually driving Intuitive Machines and what the experts are saying. Let's maybe start with the basics. Founded in 2013, Houston, Texas.
Yep, Houston-based.
Their focus is commercial and government lunar exploration services. So delivering payloads to the moon, handling data transmission, providing space mission infrastructure, kind of like a service model.
It's pretty comprehensive, isn't it? They aren't just, focusing only on their landers for the LPDS program. They're also building the support stuff around it, mission control, ground stations, and they're even using advanced tech like additive manufacturing for space hardware. It's quite integrated.
And the NASA connection is huge, right? Multiple CLPS contracts for moon payloads. And they're one of only 3 companies picked for the lunar terrain vehicle development. That seems like a really strong vote of confidence.
It absolutely is. And that NASA involvement, well, it gives them a pretty steady stream of work, a consistent demand. Plus, their move into national security space, like that Jetson program with the Air Force Research Lab, it shows they're diversifying strategically. They aren't just relying on, civilian space stuff.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Recent performance. The sources are highlighting a pretty big jump in their stock price this past month. Seems like the Q1 2025 earnings, announced May 13th, were a major catalyst.
Yes, the reports definitely point that way. An upward trend over the last 6 months and the year, really. It lines up with them winning contracts and hitting milestones since they went public via SPAC back in February 2023. That Q1 report was clearly a very positive signal for the market.
We're talking about a 14% revenue increase from the previous quarter. Positive free cash flow, too. $13.3 million, plus those strategic diversification points you mentioned. Now, here's where it gets, really interesting. The stock price shot up over 31% just on May 13th, and that was after a pretty big pre-market jump, too. What do you think caused that kind of reaction?
Well, a market reaction that strong usually signals a big boost in investor confidence, probably fueled by specifics in that earnings report, like the positive free cash flow, for instance. That suggests their operations are getting more efficient, maybe they're managing costs better relative to income, and the progress on national security contracts that likely hit home for investors looking for growth beyond just the commercial side. Long-term potential there.
Let's look closer at those Q1 numbers then. Revenue, $62.5 million. That's the 14% sequential growth. And their gross margin was around $6.7 million, so roughly 11%. But importantly, this is their 3rd quarter in a row with positive gross margin.
Right, and that positive free cash flow, the $13.3 million, that's really key. It shows they can generate cash from their main business. While the reports didn't spell out the exact net income or EPS figures, this kind of cash generation, it strongly suggests things are improving on the profitability front.
And even without specific debt numbers here, that strong cash flow hints that their financial leverage is probably stable, maybe even getting better. Overall, the financial picture looks, pretty solid, especially with revenue growing from different kinds of contracts, including that national security piece.
It's useful, though, to look at both the strengths and, the potential watch-outs mentioned in these reports. On the plus side, strong revenue growth quarter over quarter, that positive free cash flow showing they're running things well, the smart move into national security for long-term stability, and those NASA deals keeping demand steady. It's a good list.
Okay, but the reports also flag the gross margin, around 11%. It's relatively low.
Yeah.
They suggest this could mean project costs are, quite high and need careful management. Monitoring margins is important going forward. Why might those margins be kind of low at this stage? Is that typical?
It could be. It's pretty common in aerospace, especially for companies deep in complex R&D and engineering. Think about the upfront costs, research development, getting specialized materials, the high precision labor involved. It all adds up and can squeeze those initial gross margins. As projects mature, as they get more efficient operationally, you'd hope to see those margins improve over time.
Okay, that makes sense. So what's the general feeling about the company and the market right now?
Cautiously optimistic. That seems about right based on the sources. Analyst comments are pointing out their proven ability to execute. Their speed to market advantage across different programs. And like we mentioned, the online chatter, it's mostly positive, focusing on those contract wins and the move into defense-related space infrastructure.
Now, how do they stack up against competitors? The sources bring up Astrobotic Technology and Maston Space Systems.
Right, looking at the landscape,
Hmm.
each company kind of has its own niche. Astrobotic is pretty established in lunar logistics. Robotics seems to have a steady contract pipeline. Masson, they're more about that innovative vertical takeoff and landing tech, maybe a bit smaller scale, more specialized focus.
So where does Intuitive Machines really stand out then? What's their edge?
I think it's their diversified approach. They aren't just doing commercial lunar deliveries. That serious involvement in national security space, plus the multiple NASA contracts, it gives them a more stable, varied revenue base. While Astrobotic is also in CLPS, Intuitive Machines seems to have cast a slightly wider net strategically, at least for now. But keeping that innovative edge and, crucially, controlling costs will be key to staying ahead, especially against someone like Astrobotic.
Okay, looking ahead, what are the key things on the horizon, potential catalysts we should be watching?
Well, definitely progress updates on their NASA CLPS missions. More successful lander deployments would be huge milestones. Any further expansion in national security space, like with Jetson, that could open up significant new revenue streams. Oh, and there was that grant from the Texas Space Commission, too. Up to $10 million for a reentry vehicle and an orbital lab. Hints at future possibilities in microgravity manufacturing, maybe.
On the flip side, what about potential bumps in the road, risks?
Always risks. Changes in federal contracting rules or, shifts in government funding priorities for space and defense that could impact them. Also, aerospace projects are just inherently expensive. So if costs get out of control on a project, that could really pressure their margins, their profitability. The CEO's focus on execution speed seems aimed at navigating exactly those kinds of challenges in a changing government acquisition environment.
So, pulling all this together, what's the general investment takeaway from these sources?
It seems to lean towards hold, maybe a moderate buy recommendation. The rationale, solid top-line growth from that mix of government contracts, lunar and national security. That's kind of a unique position, less dependent on just one area. Plus, the positive free cash flow and the strategic expansion moves, they signal improving financial health, even with those, somewhat modest gross margins right now, which, again, isn't totally unusual for this stage in aerospace.
And what are the main things investors should keep an eye on going forward?
Definitely watch those gross margin trends. Seeing consistent improvement there would be a strong positive signal. And obviously, hitting those upcoming mission milestones, those are major potential catalysts. And just always be aware of the inherent execution risks in this industry. It seems like this opportunity might be best for investors who are okay with moderate risk and are looking at the long-term potential in innovative aerospace.
Okay, so to wrap it up then, the sources suggest Intuitive Machines, LUNR, is really showing significant growth. It's fueled by those successful lunar missions and that strategic push into national security. The recent earnings clearly got investors excited, but yeah, keeping an eye on gross margins and those upcoming operational steps is definitely important.
That mix of commercial space and national security is pretty distinct. It offers a unique kind of opportunity. But like any investment in a fast-moving sector like this, really understanding the details, the nuances, and the potential risks is absolutely crucial.
We definitely encourage you to do your own follow-up research into Intuitive Machines. Maybe check out their latest investor relations stuff. What aspects really jump out to you as being most critical for their future?
Thank you for joining us for this focused look at Intuitive Machines. If you found this valuable, please do subscribe, like, and maybe leave us a comment. We always appreciate hearing your feedback.
And until our next conversation, keep exploring.